So, welcome to a short video that will introduce some of the work we're doing this year around lab sites in the elementary division. Uh, this a specific strategy of lab sites is a way that teachers are working together on making sure that we have best practice across all of the classrooms of the division, making sure to work together on teaching each other the best ways to connect with and to teach children. This comes from the personalized learning part of our strategic plan, specifically the area of offering a highly engaging, innovative, and flexible core curriculum. And if you think about it, that idea of creating a core curriculum that's highly engaging and flexible and really is up to the standards that we want for ACS and is consistent across the classrooms, the grade levels of our elementary division, it really takes a ton of collaboration and a lot of work on really being very specific about the decisions that are made throughout the school day. Now, what we're talking about, and if you take a look at this very simple document right here, there are a lot of things that are taught and a lot of different subject areas throughout the day each and every day here in the elementary division. This particular scope and sequence that we can see, which you obviously aren't going to be able to really understand the way that it's explained right here, but this is showing the way that we're planning our math, our reading, our writing, our science, and our social studies content so that a lot of the units start to work together and make more sense for students. But the specific way that teachers will teach reading or writing or math or science or any of these areas, really there's a lot of decisions that are made all the time by teachers. And we want a lot of that to be, first of all, the best possible decisions, but we also want them to be consistent from classroom to classroom. If you want more information about the scope and sequence, and obviously this slide right here is far too small for you to really get into the details, well, please go over and check out our grade level guides, the ES grade level guides that are accessible publicly. You can go in and see them. For example, there's ones on English language arts, on math, on science, on our activities and events, things like the Passion Project Fair, all of those types of things as well too. If you're not sure how to get there, well, you can scan this QR code or just go to a link that we have in the newsletter each week as well too. And that's a great place to go for the answer for lots of your questions. But just quickly back to the topic of lab sites. This is something that, if you can see here, this is the juice menu that we challenged our elementary teachers to really start to access this year. A little tongue-in-cheek, but the very first one you can see with kitchen visits is the idea of lab sites. These are conversations that go on between groups of teachers on a specific instructional strategy, and they really get into a lot of depth in terms of a conversation and then an observation of one teacher using the strategy and then a follow-up conversation to really understand, first of all, what it was that what are the decisions that were made around that strategy, and then what's going to be implemented in all of the classrooms of everybody who observed. So, for example, Writer's Workshop is one of the strategies that we use a lot for teaching writing instruction, and it's very nuanced and has a lot of different moments in which the person who is teaching the Writer's Workshop class has to really know why they're making decisions that they're making. Well, when one person offers that and 3 or 4 other people say that they'd like to join them for the lab site, they get together, they have that conversation, they get to observe the one teacher teaching, and then they get together again to really talk about what they saw, and then again for all of the teachers who observed to go back and implement these new ideas into their classroom. What this again creates is more consistency, and it's consistency around best practice, not just on the practices that people come to ACS with, but making sure that those very best strategies are the ones that we're implementing. Now, obviously, our Office of Learning, our curriculum coordinator, Cheryl Haney, Miss Ann Peterson, and myself, we're always working with teachers that are leading these lab sites to make sure that the practices that they're sharing with others are really the type of level and effectiveness that we want for ACS. So really, it's a great practice for collaboration. We've done this as well too with our consultants. Megan Holmstrom has worked a lot with elementary division, as she has with the whole school. But when we had her on site, we actually had her lead a lab site as well too. And we had a chance for teachers to speak with her, to watch her in action, and then to go off and make their own commitments around their teaching as well too. So really we're learning from the very best, and we're making sure to implement that in our classrooms. So again, that's one of the ways that we really are making sure that we're going to offer a highly engaging, innovative, and flexible core curriculum that comes out of our personalized learning stem of the ACS strategic plan. And it's something that I really believe is going to help all of our children.